not in Kansas anymore.
You have my curiosity.
Are you telling me you built a time machine?
The Force will be with you. Assemble.
Welcome to the Get Real podcast, the podcast where we get real about all our favourite pop culture films and TV shows. I'm your host, Chris, and with me is my absolute gem of a co-host, Sam Clayton.
Someone say this is a uncut version of the podcast.
Oh.
And together we have then an uncut gem, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
Yep, if that wasn't somehow obvious enough. Segues, guys.
I mean, there's a title for this episode.
Yeah,
so,
that's true as well. And there's also normally an image to go along with it on the Instagram.
Or you've come from a social post where we've got a photo of a bloodied-nosed Adam Sandler.
Yep.
Yeah, so Adam Sandler's back, not in a role that you would expect in this film.
Yeah.
Very, very much a interesting film that we will get onto. This will be coming out shortly after the UK launch of the film. Uncut Gems has been out already for a while in the US.
Yes.
Is that right?
It got a cinema release in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just launching straight onto Netflix in the UK. I think it got a very minor cinema release.
Yeah, so it launches on... We
31st.
say launches because we're recording this a little bit ahead of time. So it launches on the 31st in the UK, and then this will be going out on the 3rd when you listen to this. So hopefully, you know, you've had the chance to all see this film and share your thoughts. If not, obviously, there are ways of watching this film, which shall remain unnamed.
We do not condone. This is also going to be coming out the day after the BAFTAs, so we don't know who's won yet.
No, so if you are looking for BAFTA news,
check out next week. We'll cover it very briefly.
Yeah, we'll just go get that time machine for next time.
Yeah.
And so we can cover off BAFTA winners.
You build a time machine?
Oh, it's all full circle.
1.21 gigawatts more.
Yeah, so another thing, next week we're going to be doing our episode on Birds of Prey.
I still don't feel like this film's actually coming out.
No, I mean, what was the full name of it? Can you remember?
Birds of Prey, or the fabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Which has disappeared from all the titles that I've seen.
I noticed, so I saw the trailer for this on TV the other day, and they're just selling it as a Harley Quinn film. It's all about Harley Quinn, and then, you know when you're expecting the title card to come up, it flashes up Harley Quinn for like half a second, and then quickly flashes up Birds of Prey, the emancipation of Harley Quinn. Yeah,
well, I've stopped seeing that. There's a big poster in a bus shelter near our cinema that I drive past to go to the supermarket every day.
Yeah.
And last week it was Bombshell, so they update this said famous bus shelter near the cinema, and now it has changed to a Birds of Prey one, but the poster doesn't have... I might just be focusing on driving and not being distracted, but it doesn't have the fabulous emancipation of blah 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 blah. It just has Birds of Prey on it, which is something that I've noticed about.
If it's gone with the same design as all the other posters, it's written in sort of like quite a bright, sort of like a orangey yellowish script, like it's hand scribbled underneath. So with the craziness of the posters, maybe it's just getting lost as you're driving past.
Yeah.
Also, you've given away the secret that we only get all of our film news from this one bus shelter.
Damn it.
You've given away our secrets, the magical bus shelter of movie news.
I'm never going to be able to get to this bus shelter without loads of more people just getting in the way anymore now.
They're all going there for the hot scoop of movie news.
Or they'll all be going there to get the buses, and they'll block it. I won't be able to see it anymore. But I've never known a bus shelter to be so up to date.
Yeah.
Like, to be changing a poster that soon.
I think it's probably because it's the one right outside the cinema. They probably think we need all the new film posters.
Even buses don't change the things that are plastered over the sides of them.
I think we still got one from Sherlock Holmes Into the Shadows, or whatever the film was that came out 8 years ago.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, we want to quickly talk about what we're expecting from this film.
Yeah, it's out fairly soon. It's out this week that you're listening to it, so we'll be covering it the following week. And in terms of a DC film, the way DC's kind of gone with the films now is they have been much better received than what Batman vs Superman and, dare we say, Justice League were received. But it's because they're being less pushy on trying to connect everything now, I'd say.
They're not trying to take the control away from the creatives anymore. Because I think that was the major thing that we kept hearing with Batman vs Superman and Justice League, was the fact that they were reshooting the hell out of them, and they were just constantly, people in suits that have nothing to do with filmmaking were getting involved and taking it off the creators.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Too many directors in the cutting room.
This one will have a lot more direction than Suicide Squad did, because that was a hot mess.
Yeah.
It was fun until you left the cinema and then you stopped and thought about it and you're like, what did I just watch?
It was fun until you realised that half the things you wanted to see from the trailer weren't in the film.
Yeah, or the stuff that you did see in the trailer was all from the first 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
But I think one highlight from that was Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is great in the role.
Yeah, she's very much front and centre in Suicide Squad as well.
Yeah. So I am expecting good things from her. The last few trailers have not got me excited for this film.
Would you say?
I felt more excited from like the teasers and like the set photos and everything. I think it's just the pacing of the trailers and the music choices and stuff like that have not got me very excited for it. I love Ewan McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
So I am on board for this film.
Yep.
I like the cast. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is fantastic. I'll see her in anything. Hopefully it's good. It seems like it's not going to take all the colour out of it like Suicide Squad did after the first 5 minutes. It looks more bombastic. It feels, so far from what I've seen, a bit more like a Harley Quinn comic book.
Yeah. Don't we get in the last trailer, do we get a shot of Black Mask in Black Mask?
Yes.
We do, yeah. So,
Black Mask in the Black Mask.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Ewan McGregor play a bad guy.
Also, do we think the Joker dies in this film?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Is apparently Harley Quinn either separates away from him or kills him or something.
So they've broken up, and I think like the way that the new trailer is sort of depicting the breakup, she says that like she's getting away from him for good, and then you see a shot of her blowing up Ace Chemicals, like she like bails out of a truck as it's driving in, and some people are taking that to believe that maybe the Joker's in the truck.
Yeah, I like how, or maybe it's just her, causing chaos by herself and stuff, maybe.
Because Ace Chemicals was where they were both created and stuff, so maybe that's what that's symbolising.
Yeah, I like how we get a much more kind of dynamic Harley Quinn, rather than just being who she was in Suicide Squad. Like, you get her in a lot of different, costumes. You get a lot of different comic book representations of what she's going to be like in this film.
I feel like it as well, like, I kind of wish this was just a Harley Quinn film by the looks of it. Like, I wanted a Birds of Prey film because the Birds of Prey characters are great, but they seem to be getting lost in all the promotional material.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, with that trailer on TV, they're flashing up Harley Quinn before Birds of Prey. It's meant to be a Birds of Prey film.
You've got a real beef against this Harley Quinn,
I didn't like the trailers. I did not like the trailers. I've got no beef against Harley Quinn or anything. It's just the way the trailers are depicting this film.
Yeah. I think she's the most Harley Quinn that we're going to get versus everything, like how she was in Suicide Squad. This is like full on. You've got the hyenas and everything at the end, haven't you?
Hyena. We've only seen one so far.
Hyena, yeah. But I really like, just touching back on Black Mask, I like how we've got proper Black Mask. And it's not like, I don't know. When you just expect something to not be what it actually is. It's a bit like when we talked about Taskmaster. Well, when I talked about Taskmaster a few episodes ago, and I was like, "Oh, why has he got a hood up? Why isn't he not just?" Oh no, he didn't. It looked like a bike.
Hood.
Yeah, it looked like a bike helmet rather than an actual skull mask. And I was just like, "Oh, why don't we just?" And I just like how this is kind of done. That
I feel like he's not going to get the Black Mask until like the final act, though.
Yeah,
it's going to be him without the Black Mask on for a long time, and they're going to sort of like hint towards it a lot. Like, you see a lot of like the stuff from his club, and like people are using black gloves to cover the face and everything like that, and you see like a painting of like a woman with like black face makeup on behind him as he's freaking out and stuff like that. Like, I feel like they're going to hint towards it for too long, and then finally at the end he's going to get the mask for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's that shot of him in the trailer putting the mask on.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason he has to put it on.
Maybe his face gets
Slashed up by Harley Quinn. I also like the relationship.
Big mallet to the face.
Yeah, maybe a hyena to the face.
Oh.
I like how they join like a bit of a relationship between Victor Zsasz in this film and Black Mask. It kind of makes them a bit more joint as the villains of the film, I suppose.
He doesn't seem as crazy yet, but we'll see if he gets more crazy.
But I mean, Victor Zsasz is covered in scars and people he's killed, and he keeps a tally, doesn't he? But you don't see anything. I mean, you see his face is pretty scarred, but maybe when you get a reveal that he is just
takes like his shirt off and he's got like
loads
like
of
Killmonger type scars, because that's what Killmonger did as well.
Yeah, loads of little tallies of people that he's killed and stuff. Maybe he goes full crazy. Maybe he gets a hyena to the face, and that's maybe when he
kills
crazy.
One of the birds of prey, and then we get like a gnarly. He's carving another one in his arm or something.
What's your thoughts on Black Canary and the effects? They look pretty cool.
Yeah, they look pretty cool. It's nice to see that they seem like they're going full. The one thing I am glad about is it looks like it's going more comic booky. Like you said, we got the hyenas, and it seems like her powers are going to be her powers. It's not going to be like, oh, some tech-based powers or something like we got on the TV show for a long time.
Yeah, I like how everything seems pretty true to the characters rather than trying to mess with it too much.
I'm weary. We've all been burnt by DC before, and I think that's why I'm very weary of this film.
Yeah. I don't know. I think everyone's also weary because of what happened with Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
it was set up to be really good, and it wasn't what we wanted it to be. And people are probably a bit scared of that happening with this. But as long as the film is what it is in the trailers, you know what? I think I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, it'll be a lot better than Suicide Squad if we get what we see in the trailers.
It'll be interesting whether or not it potentially sets up some stuff for James Gunn's Suicide Squad 2.
Possibly.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because that's only like a soft reboot, isn't it? It's still got some of the same actors in it and stuff.
Yeah.
So possibly.
That'd be
possibly
very cool.
We see like a villain set up at the end of it that might be the villain for.
Yeah, maybe just a link. Not like as heavy-handed as maybe what, say, Justice League and stuff was for Batman versus Superman and stuff, but maybe just something that nods to it. A little bit like how the end of Aquaman nods to a future film, and the end of Shazam hints towards Aquaman being in the same...
Hints towards a telekinetic centipede.
Yeah, and all that weird stuff.
Caterpillar, sorry, not centipede.
Hey, it's only about as much as what Marvel hinted at in their first few films.
Yeah.
So we never know. I mean, I daren't say...
Telepathic centipede.
I daren't say we're going to get the same sort of thing from DC with their previous track record. However, you never know. They may have finally figured it out. So, do you want to talk about Uncut Gems now?
Yeah, I think that's enough of Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn, emancipation.
And you'll get to hear even
I want to be
more.
emancipated from this subject right now.
Well, you can decide whether you want to be emancipated from it once we've watched the film later this week, and when we do our episode on it next week.
Yep.
I've already decided that's an episode.
Yep.
The cover art is already created, Chris.
Oh,
you haven't got a
look
choice.
At you. You are prepared.
I'm prepared for the next.
I mean, we go see all DC and Marvel films anyway, so it's only logical that we make an episode about it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Uncut Gems. As always, we talk spoilers after we have talked non-spoilers.
Yep, there will be a clear distinction and timestamps in the description.
Brilliant. So, Uncut Gems. I've got an elevator pitch
for
you this time.
Your first elevator pitch. Let's do this.
I have took the time to pre-prepare my elevator pitch.
You've got 3 floors.
Okay, Adam Sandler plays Howard Ratner, a sleazy jewellery dealer who scores a black opal diamond that he lends to a professional NBA player for good luck. However, it all goes astray when he tries to recover the gem, all whilst balancing his normal family life and his secret double life.
Okay, I need a bit more energy from you next time you present.
Oh, bloody hell, my first
You're
time.
not getting my money, but I'll give you script to the directors. You know,
fantastic.
What I mean?
Well, I had to pre-prepare
the board
this
of directors.
one, so I wasn't confident enough to just let myself rip on an elevator pitch. So, especially with this film, because it is pretty weird.
It's very strange.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. When this film first started and had that intro sequence at the beginning, I genuinely thought, am I watching the right film here? Or is there an older film that I've never watched or heard of called Uncut Gems?
Yeah, I thought maybe they put the wrong cover art on it. And I was like...
Yeah. I was like, what the hell's this? It was so... Because obviously everything was so, like, Blade Runner-esque. It was so, like... Is it 70s, 80s, 90s? It was that vibe, that weird...
it's set in the last couple of years because, like, he's got an iPhone 5.
No, I mean... Chris.
I mean the music.
I mean the music and the style of the intro.
Yeah, it was very like neo-noir, futuristic. It sounded like the Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack. That's all I could think of. So you have like a short scene at the beginning, and then as soon as two characters go into a mine to start mining gems, and then I was like, oh, I am on the right film. And then like it like takes like a David Fincher-esque old Spider-Man and X-Men films intros where it's going through the black opal, and it was just Blade Runner music, and I was like, this is a very odd choice. Where is this film going?
Yeah, I was really like... Because I'd seen the photos.
That music comes back a bit later on as well. There's like...
Well, the music's throughout, isn't it? That kind of music style is throughout the film.
It's like, it like goes from like hip-hop and The Weeknd.
Yeah,
spoiler alert,
The Weeknd is in this film.
Yeah.
And he's not just singing as The Weeknd, he is acting in this film for a very, very short amount of time.
Acting in the loosest term. Yeah. He's acting for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, he's in the film nonetheless. He probably gets an acting credit.
Sam's really distracting me right now. He just keeps messing with this beanie hat that he's wearing and just spinning it round.
My head's so itchy.
Take the hat off then.
No, because I've wore this beanie hat all day and my hair's just like... disgusting underneath of it.
Sam's hat is my penguin hands last episode.
Oh yeah. Right, I'm going to take it off then. There we go.
You just keep spinning it round. Anyway, yeah, The Weeknd is in it. He does sing at one point.
Yeah, there are.
I really like The Weeknd.
There's Weeknd songs in this.
Don't think he was a great actor in it.
No.
I mean, his only bit of acting that you see him do is the back of his head anyway.
Yeah, and maybe he's only in this film to plant the... I don't know, to make it feel more real. It could have been literally any pop star in this film and it would have been fine.
Okay, so I don't think we get a date of when this film is set, do we?
But they've got iPhone 5s.
They've got iPhone 5s and they say The Weeknd's about to go big, like it was kind of unknown at the time.
So I'm going to
guess like...
either Howard Ratner is either a very, very, very uncool guy who is behind with tech.
Well, it was his girlfriend who was doing photos for him. Oh, you mean tech-wise, yeah.
Yeah, no, tech-wise, because he's still got an iPhone 5.
He's got fucking...
When did the iPhone 5 come out? This is a theory talk with when can we date when a film is set.
Yeah, so he had an iPhone 5, and his girlfriend who seemed in that music scene was saying that he was just about to hit it big. And I've heard of The Weeknd since probably 2012, 2013.
Have you just said 2012 because I mouthed it?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't actually see. I was looking at your wallpaper trying to figure out when I first listened to The Weeknd.
So the iPhone 5 came out. I love how this is how we're trying to do it. The iPhone 5 came out in 2012, right? It's definitely an iPhone 5 he has, isn't it?
It looks like an iPhone 5.
Okay, we're going to assume it's
when
an
did
iPhone
The
5.
Weeknd release his first album?
He released his first album in 2011.
So maybe it's set in 2012?
Yeah, it probably makes sense. Look, these people have got to be more clued up for films and stuff like continuity and stuff like that.
Because it didn't seem brand new up to date either, did it?
No, not at all. And obviously...
When did Garnett start playing basketball? Because he's a real basketball player.
Okay, there you go. You can figure that out. Yeah, it's... like I said, I felt like this film, I was watching the wrong film at the very, very beginning when there was that whole bit with the mines and stuff in Estonia or whatever. And then obviously it then flicks to Adam Sandler's character in the jewelry store.
So, Garnett played for... What was the team? Boston... Celtics, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He is 43 now, and he played from 1995 to 2016.
Okay, so we figured it out.
Yes.
So this film is set around 2012, 2013. There you go.
We sussed it out.
Only took us Well,
About 5 minutes?
About 5 minutes. But 5 actual minutes. That's a long time.
Yep.
But yeah.
I don't know why it's relevant when this was set.
Yeah, we've not really talked about...
We were talking about The Weeknd, weren't we?
Yeah, The Weeknd's in this film.
Because we haven't said that enough yet.
Full circle.
Okay, let's talk about like things to do with this film.
No, let's talk about Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler is amazing in this film. I did not need to see him take his shirt off about 7 times in this film, though.
I'm going to say maybe amazing is a little bit of an overstatement. He's good in this film.
I thought...
He's good.
I think for Adam Sandler, he was amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe not...
He wasn't... this is not an Adam Sandler role.
No.
Right? This is a full drama role that he's playing. He goes through trouble, he gets upset, he has a bad time. It's not what we normally get in an Adam Sandler film. It's not a comedy by any means.
Have you seen Drunk Punch Love?
I haven't.
Okay,
I have. No, yes, I have, but a very, very long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we watched bits of it in uni.
Yeah.
So that's probably maybe when you watched it. That's where I think when I watched it fully for the first time. So he can do like dramatic roles. He can do roles like this. He just doesn't. I think the only other slightly more dramatic was, I think, Funny People. He was a comedian, I think, with cancer, maybe. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. So he can do like heavier roles. He just never seems to do them. Drunk Punch Love, great film, and he's great in that. This felt for me like a transformative role. Like I wasn't watching Adam Sandler.
I think it's
for large portions of it. Other times I was like, that's Adam Sandler.
He'd really kind of character transformed for this, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he got the goatee and all that, and obviously he looks a lot more older than what he does. But it doesn't, you know, by no means is this... You watching this film to watch an Adam Sandler film. You're watching this film to really see something very, very different.
Yeah.
So a couple of notes I had to note down for this film because there was some parts that just felt really long. So obviously, when you first start, there's that jewelry shop scene where KG's coming in and it just feels like super, super chaotic. And what I mean by chaotic is that there's parts where it's almost like you're not watching a scene in a film, you're just watching like something in real life. Like you just literally stood there watching all this happen. And it's
I felt it was a very much fly on the wall film.
Yeah, I almost felt like it was really hard to kind of keep track of what conversation was going on, because it was almost like they just said, right, there's no script, this is happening, just improvise. A lot of that, and there was just so much dialogue going on at once, and like I said, it really felt quite chaotic.
Yeah.
Which, you know, probably sums up what Howard's going through. You know, he's trying to balance these two completely different, a normal life, and he's trying to balance this kind of, you know, sketchy life that he's got on the side.
So he's undergoing
like side hustle and stuff.
Yeah, he's undergoing he's about to get a divorce from his wife. He's clearly left her for a younger woman.
Well, he's not going through
they're separating at least.
Yeah.
I think it's basically implied that the divorce is coming once they separate. They're trying to get through like the Jewish holiday season with their family before like they tell the kids that they're separating and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because he's with a younger woman who works at the shop with him and stuff like that.
Yeah,
their relationship seemed kind of strange. Like she seemed like a gold digger to begin with, but then she really cared about him. But you're also thinking like, a woman like that could probably do a lot better
than Adam Sandler.
Yeah, especially because he keeps taking his shirt off in this film. I will not understate that enough. I do not need to see Adam Sandler's chest ever again.
And the rest, there's a part where he's fully stripped down.
Yeah. Yeah. He gets stripped off.
Yeah.
You don't see his tackle.
No.
Thank God. But have you noticed, like, every time he seems to take his shirt off, like we were saying, it's a fly on the wall, there's loads of, like, exterior shots, like it's somebody filming him from another building.
Yeah.
Like,
why are you so obsessed with all the shots where he takes his shirt off?
It's burnt into my memory. Like, that's, I think, what helped sell it as this very voyeuristic film. It felt like guerrilla filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's constantly like a camera on the move, following these guys around and stuff.
And at the same time, it doesn't feel like a film that's come out in 2019.
No, it feels like a chaotic film from a few years ago.
Yeah, it does feel like it's a way older film than what it should be, which is probably a credit to the style that it's gone for, to be fair.
So I heard somebody describe it this morning as it was like you were watching a panic attack.
Yeah.
And that summed it up so perfectly. Like, this guy is just going through ordeal after ordeal. Like, he's clearly got himself into a bad situation and he's trying to get his way out of it. Yeah. But more things just seem to be going wrong.
Yeah, he's purely all about making money in this film, isn't he? And this whole black opal, which is just like your MacGuffin to take you through the film and get him into bad situations and stuff. I think when the story on that starts to kick up a bit more towards the end, I think that helped me understand why the film was so good and why people really enjoyed the film.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe for the first 20 minutes of this, I had to really tell myself to keep watching it because I was just like, parts just felt a little bit boring.
Yeah, and I think because it did start off so chaotic, like as soon as you get involved with his character, like there's that underlying thought in the back of your mind as well that like this guy's not well either. Like he's been to the doctors for like bowel and prostate and
well that's
scans
like
and stuff like that at the beginning.
Yeah,
so like that's lingering in the back of your head as well. Like, is he trying to get all this stuff sorted to help his family out? Maybe if he is diagnosed with something. Yeah, and also he would probably need a lot of money to pay off medical bills as well. Yeah, like you very much understand throughout this film that this guy needs money, but then he keeps making bad decisions with money as well. He keeps gambling, but it turns out he is a good gambler. He understands the games that he's gambling on. Yeah. What did you think of Lakeith Stanfield? So he played Dimani.
Oh, his friend who was bringing...
Yeah, the guy that was bringing all the high-profile guys into the thing. I think he's a fantastic actor. In everything that he's in, you lose him in a role.
Mm-hmm. I liked his glow-in-the-dark
hoodie,
bright orange hoodie that he was wearing.
Yeah. See, like, it wasn't until I saw his phone after that like I realised what period this was set in, because like neon is a big thing in fashion at the moment.
I mean, Furbies are a thing.
Yeah, Furbies are back now.
Blingy
as well.
Furbies.
Yeah, blinged up Furbies. Like none of this was sort of on trend back in 2012, which is why it felt kind of weird. Neon hoodies, like in a blacklit room, like that felt like the only light source in that scene. This is this glowing orange hoodie. Yeah. I thought he was great though.
Yeah, I thought he was quite good, to be fair. Yeah.
It bothered me a little bit, like you were saying, like it is chaotic. Everyone's always talking over each other.
Yeah, you know what?
It gave me a headache at one point.
In that bit at the beginning where he's showing him the blingy Furbies and stuff like that, I just feel like one person talk at a time. Like, oh my God, stop shouting over each... And I know that's the point of the film.
Yeah.
And I know that's what they're trying to do. But, oh my God, it was just so hard to watch. It was just like, and maybe that's what made me keep watching.
Too many N-bombs as well.
Yeah, a lot of N-bombs. Adam Sandler, you can't pull off the N-bomb.
For a film mostly about a white Jewish guy...
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of that in it. I feel like the directors are kind of big into hip-hop sport culture, getting a famous basketball player in, a jewelry dealer who seems to deal exclusively with celebrities, it's all blinged out kit, and like having the weekend in it and stuff like that. It seems like it's very, like, they kind of made a film where they wanted to do this sort of stuff.
Did you also notice that Adam Sandler was in near enough every single shot of this film again as well? So really, you've got to give a bit of credit for him for that as well.
I think it was possibly his best performance.
Yeah, I'd say so. I
think Punch Drunk Love is up there as well, but this is, like I said, I kind of can't believe that this is an Adam Sandler role.
Yeah, in terms of him just being outside of his comfort zone. Definitely.
I think the only part that was lacking for me was when he's reconciling with his girlfriend almost after he's just had the snot beaten out of him and he's crying at his desk. I felt like he didn't land that quite as well as he could have, but I was watching the Hollywood Reporter roundtable that came out last week, I think, with him on it, talking about Uncut Gems, and he says he really does struggle with crying on camera.
Yeah, well, that's why he was probably covering his face a lot and
Yeah.
stuff, and having his head down and stuff like that. But
Like, and I could feel that when I was watching it. Like, he did struggle with those bits, but the rest of it he really sold.
yeah, so I think that's probably as much as what we can talk about, trying to be as vague as we can. So going on to spoilers now. With
I thought we were already in spoilers.
No, we didn't do the bit.
I thought we did the bit.
We have to do the bit where we say we're about to start spoiling. Because imagine, Chris, you were listening to a podcast.
Did I spoil anything before it?
Well,
I thought we were in the spoilers.
Well, you just mentioned the bit where he got his beaten out of him.
I said snot. You swore that time.
Oh, no.
Sam swore. Sam did a swear.
In the last episode, you did 3, so...
Yes, I swear a lot, and I'm trying to keep it down.
I've still got a bit to go to get up to your level.
But you did it. It makes me feel better. Sam did a swear, everybody.
Yeah, imagine you were listening to a podcast and someone just spoilt something.
Yeah.
No, we got to do a bit. We have to do the bit where we say we're going to spoil
I feel like
it.
I definitely spoiled some stuff before this.
No, I think you're all right.
Okay. Spoilers, guys. We're in spoilers now.
I would have looked very nervous if you did, because that's a lot more editing work than what I want to do.
Spoilers now.
So the big thing is that there's that big whole master plan at the end where the money from the Black Opal that he gets is to invest onto this big ultimate bet. Now, where on earth?
See, I think he's just winging it as it goes along. I think he genuinely thought he was going to get $1 million from the Black Opal.
Yeah, well,
and he was just going to ride off that.
He's just being extremely lucky.
Well, that's the thing, because he got unlucky that it was evaluated a lot less than that.
Yeah.
So he had to then. Well, he didn't have to. He could have gave the money to the people that he owed money to. But instead, he puts 165k down on a basketball game.
But it's like a 10 times.
Yeah, he would have won like 1.3
million.
million.
He would have won before he got shot in the face.
I did not see that coming.
No, well, I saw something. There was going to be something. Coming.
I didn't think he was going to get shot in the head at the end of it.
Yeah,
like that guy just went absolutely ape. Like just lost it. So like the guy that he actually owed money to, who was his brother-in-law. Like he was like, okay, this guy's just won 1.3 million. He can pay me back, no problem.
Yeah, he becomes a bit.
And then his henchman just shoots them both and robs the place.
Yeah, well, that's it, because you're talking about that much money then at that point. But he wasn't going to get the money because his girlfriend had the money anyway.
Well, yeah, he was going to use that money to pay them back, wasn't he?
And
but the other guy just robbed the jewelry store instead. He was just there like,
yeah,
F these guys, I'm just going to kill them both and steal.
There's points in the film though where that I guess it kind of gets set up though, because there's points where he just kind of gets pushed and pushed and pushed, and then obviously that bit at the end is just that he's pushed his luck too far, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And although it paid off, he got a bullet to the eye.
Yeah. I mean, his girlfriend's a very wealthy woman now.
Well, yeah.
Also, this is like her second ever acting role.
Oh, okay.
She was in like a very low budget film where she played a cam girl for a bit. And I also found out in that Hollywood Reporter thing that she used to be a dominatrix when she was in high school.
The more
in real life.
The more
which
you know.
Didn't see that coming. Also, high schoolers should not be into that sort of thing. I know it's American high school, so she would have been over the age of 18. Still does not feel right saying that somebody in school was doing something like that. I was a bit creeped out. Like, the guy just dropped that in the middle of this Hollywood Reporter YouTube video. And, like, Adam Sandler was like, well, what? Like, he didn't seem to know. He was like, what? Where are you getting this from? And why are you dropping this?
Where do we go from here?
Like, you sat there with Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, Adam Driver, Jamie Foxx, Shia LaBeouf, and you're just there like, oh, your co-star used to be a dominatrix.
And it's Adam Sandler of all people.
Yeah. He was like, why is this relevant?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, I just dropped all that on you guys now.
Yep.
Why is it relevant? I don't know, but it is.
We've got a similar reaction going on here anyway. But yeah, the big twist at the end's cool, isn't it? I think that's kind of again, but it kind of
bit unsatisfied.
Yeah, but it kind of like, where's it come from though? I think this is why I was a bit like, yeah, the film was good, but it's purely good because it's Adam Sandler doing something different to what he normally does.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why it's good. So maybe if we get more of that in the future, we probably will get the really good film.
Yeah.
But I think right now it's probably just a step in the right direction for him now, as he's getting older and stuff like that as well, to play more serious drama roles.
I think he's received a lot of flack for his very naff Netflix films recently.
Yeah.
So apparently, I haven't seen this myself. Apparently, he tweeted out that if he doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, or if this film doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, he was going to make the worst movie ever straight afterwards.
Well, can't wait to see that one.
I think he already did with The Ridiculous 8 and Jack and Jill.
But this is afterwards, so we're going to get another one of them.
But I think he should try and balance comedies with these sorts of roles now.
He probably just needs to do more of them. He probably needs to do more of these kinds of roles, and then, like I say, we will get the one.
I think after this, people are more likely to take a chance on him. I feel like people probably wouldn't have offered him roles like this because he was doing these naff Netflix comedies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. He's probably a bit more diverse as an actor after this.
Yeah.
So I can understand the hype. I can understand it. I can understand it for him anyway. And I can understand it in terms of that big twist and big reveal at the end. However, it was a strange film. It wasn't the film I was expecting it to be.
It felt like a completely normal film at times, and then just went bizarre for no reason. Like, I'm not going to get into it. I was going to get into more weird stuff in this film, but...
And he also didn't
like the
wear
whole bit
that
with his girlfriend and stuff like that was just a bizarre thing that didn't need to be in this film.
No.
Especially not like 2 scenes later he's there visiting his wife.
It's controversial. It is controversial. He also didn't wear the Lando get-up long enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, so if you check out our Instagram page, you will see Sam's hilarious... Was it you that spotted it, or did somebody else spot it? The fact that his get-up at the beginning of the film in his yellow shirt looks like Lando Calrissian?
Yeah, I think I got sent it.
Okay.
But it was a shot of Lando from The Rise of Skywalker and then a shot of him, and I thought, well, why not just put Lando
into Uncut Gems?
Into Uncut Gems. So that's what you can find, yeah.
And it works fantastic, yep.
It's brilliant. I think I've exhausted what I can talk about with this film. Yeah,
I don't think there's that much to talk about. I think everyone just wants to say Adam Sandler was really good in this. It was strange.
Strange film, good role.
End of conversation.
Yeah, strange film, good role, I'd say. So that's it. Next week, we're going to talk about Birds of Prey. Do you want to tell people where they can find us?
Yes, you can find us at Get Real Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And then it is at getrealpoduk@gmail.com.
That's going to be the bane about the day that getrealpod@gmail.com becomes available. Whoever is using that email address, we're going to totally change it.
Yeah.
We're going to totally change it.
And that is REEL.
REEL.
And where can you listen to the podcast, Sam?
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts.
And what should you do if you're listening to it on any of those platforms?
You should probably listen to it.
After they listen to it.
And then you should probably tell all your friends about it. And then you should probably also give it a 5-star rating, or a review, anything that helps support it and get it higher on the charts. Yep. Other than that, that is pretty much everything for this week. Yes. And we will see you next time.
Thank you very much for listening.